All right, today is Tuesday, September 20th of 2022. And today we're going to be talking about Bridge. And I don't use Lightroom, so that's kind of like Canon and Nikon, Lightroom and Bridge. Whatever works for you the best is what works for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Share my screen. We'll just do desktop so I can go back and forth. And everybody can see my screen right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's a good thing. That's what I want. And we'll go to Photoshop to start off with. And you can see next year's lineup at West Coast School, June 4th through the 9th, University of San Diego. Sandra Pierce, Shannon Squires, or Shannon Taves, Tim Meyer, Joe Glida, Woody Walters, Chris Woolley, Doug and Laura Bennett, myself, and Tony Corbell. So any one of those is going to be a good class. It just depends on your preferences. I've had most of those instructors and love them all, so it's going to be fun. So I'll close that. Command W is a keyboard shortcut for that. I think what I want to talk about first off is we'll talk about zooming in Bridge. It's really easy to do. All you have to do is hit the space bar, and that brings you into where it's just the image itself. With Bridge, a lot of times when you're in this configuration at 100% like it is, sometimes the focus seems a little soft, but when you zoom in, and I zoom in by scrolling with the mouse, you can see it stays nice and sharp on it. And right now that's at 400%, and you can hold the space bar. Oops. You don't need to hold the space bar to move it around. You just drag your mouse, holding the left mouse key down as you zoom in and zoom out, and then hit the space bar and it goes back to full screen. With Bridge, we did a program almost a year ago talking about Bridge, so you can look that one up, and I'll put it in the YouTube comments for where it's at, so you can look at that one. You can do a slideshow on Bridge and make changes to the slideshow. The fastest way to the slideshow is, I believe, go to View Slideshow. Okay, I'm a keyboard shortcut guy, so Command or Control L will bring you slideshow. And if you want to pause the slideshow, you hit the space bar. To continue, hit the space bar again. And this will take you through every image that is in that folder. And you can set the interval on it. Really easy to do. And I'll show you that in just a second. Back to start. What you do is you go to View Slideshow Options. You can, if you have two monitors, you can black out the second monitor. You can keep scrolling through, so repeat slideshow just keeps going through like a loop over and over and over. You can have it zoom back and forth, which is kind of strange, but I'll do that right now. And we'll hit playing, and it zooms in, zooms back out, hit escape to get out of there. I'm going to turn that off because I do not like it, but it's there if you like to play around. You can change the slide duration from 1 second, so you can go 1, 2, 5, and 10, or you can do a manual where you change it with just hitting the space bar each time. I have it set for 2 seconds for mine. You can turn the caption on, which will tell you information about the images. I have it turned off right now. And then I scale mine to fit the screen. So I want it full screen when it comes up. And then you have the availability of dissolves and other transitions. You can do all kinds of different stuff there. And that's something to play with. The flip and fade. Hey, let's do a flip and fade. So we'll hit play. We'll do a flip and fade. And it flips every time. That's annoying. So we'll take that out, go back to options, and get rid of the flip and fade. Just go to dissolve. That's the most common way to do it. Transition speed, you can do slower or faster. I've got it set fairly fast so I can get to the next picture and look at it because I don't want to be messing around with the transitions. So that's the slideshow in a nutshell. And obviously you can't put music to it, but that's okay. Who cares? Let's say I screwed up on this image. My camera was just totally messed up. And instead of going out at 11:11 a.m. shooting this on the 20th of October, I went and it was, say, September. So I would go to, I gotta remember where it's at now. I just did this and my brain just farted. There it is. Revert, edit capture time or revert capture time to original. I'm going to put edit capture time. And if I wanted to, I could change it by hours, minutes, and seconds, or I can just go in here and change it to a specific time, date, and time. So I'll do that again, hit escape, go to edit capture time. So if you've got a whole folder full that you need to change and they're all 1 hour off because your camera didn't do the shift change at daylight savings time, you can shift by hours. 1 hour, either we'll do a -1 or, okay, never mind, I have to do a -1. You can do an add or subtract right here. So you can add time or subtract time. So depending on how you want to do it, you can do it there. Any questions on that one really quick? Because it took me a while to find that one time when somebody was looking for it. Edit capture time. Question?
The next thing down, revert capture time to original, indicates that there's still enough information on the actual file to tell when it was really taken.
Yes. Okay. When you look at these, let me bring it up in Photoshop real quick. If you hit Shift, Option, Command, or Shift, Alt, Control, I, it brings up all your information that you have. And one of the things I need to do is fix the copyright notice on this because it's a little out of date because this was shot 2022 or 2021, I'm sorry. But everything that I put in there when I loaded it in the computer is in there. The author, copyright information, camera data. So you can find all that information in there. Date created. And any other information. Whoa, that's like way out of date.
It's got your city of Lompoc on there.
Did it have that on there?
Yeah, it said Lompoc.
That shows you that I need to update my information. There we go. So you can just go in Photoshop and change all that. You can also do it when you enter it in the computer. I need to check when I load images next time to see if it's still listing that or not. I think I updated it. If you want to select more than one file, so I have this one and I have this one. If I want to select more than one, just hold the shift and it will select everything in between where you click on it. So I'm going to click on the very last one and it takes them all. If I decide I'm going to start with the top one and the last one only, if I hold the Command or Control key down, it will select just those two. If I hold the Shift key down and click another one, it'll click everything in between the first and the last one that you picked. So that's pretty simple, easy to work with.
Michael,
Yes.
got a question. Okay, since you have moved,
Uh-huh.
I assume you're going to want to update all your images to your new location and your right telephone number, etc. How would you go about doing that?
I would probably have to go into each folder and do that, as far as I know. I don't know if there's a shortcut for doing that or not. I don't know the answer to that. That's a very good question. Yeah, I would say I would probably have to go in and edit all of them to pull that
Hey,
off.
Michael, it's Dan.
Yeah.
If you go to tools under metadata, I think you can set up a new template with
Okay.
just that new information and then apply it to everything and it'll override it. But it's been a while since I've done that.
I know for bringing it in, let me see what it does. Okay, if I got those two selected, go to tools and append metadata. Oh, I could probably replace metadata. Let me see what it does.
I think you'd need to set up a new metadata.
I would probably have to. Well, my current metadata should be working because I have updated it since I moved here. Well, let's try this. Go back. And I know this is one that I didn't mess with, so we'll do Command Shift Control I, and it still shows that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in and fix all the metadata on those. You are.
It might be easier for it just to move back to Lompoc.
I got to be careful how I phrase this. No.
Oh, okay.
I asked my wife the other day if she wanted to move back to California if we got our old house back, and for the same thing we're paying our house now. She goes, not a chance. Very, very happy here. So anyway, let's see if I got it. Okay, this is a JPEG image, and I can open JPEGs in RAW. You can do File, Open with, then Photoshop, blah, blah, blah. You can also do an Open in RAW, which I know there's a shortcut in there somewhere. So I'll just use the shortcut, which is Command or Control R, and it will open it in Camera Raw in Photoshop. So I can make any changes I wanted to, bring the exposure down a little bit, bring my saturation up because it wasn't quite saturated enough, maybe more vibrance. There we go. That is what really looks good on Facebook today. We love that. Ew. No. Command W. Don't save. Go back to Bridge. Now, if I open this again just by hitting the Enter button on my keyboard or double clicking on the image itself, it should bring it up in RAW. And then I can change everything back to the old way, which was set raw defaults. Cancel that, never mind. I know there's a way to do this without, I'm going off a script right now. Reset the default. There we go. Now it's back to where it belongs. If I make a change such as saturation, take the vibrance way down, dehaze it, highlights way up, shadows way down, exposure a whole bunch, and say, oh man, I screwed this up something fierce. I can go to the Option or Alt key, hold it down, and you'll see at the bottom right, it has reset. So it changes the cancel button to reset down here. So I just click on reset and it goes back to where I opened it to begin with. Okay, I don't like that anyway. Hit escape. Go back to Bridge again. And here's this image. If I right click on it, go down to Develop Settings, go to Camera Raw Defaults or Clear Settings. Let's clear settings and it goes back to where it was. So right click down to Develop Settings to Clear Settings. And that's in Bridge that you can do that with.
Now, if you've made a copy of the image and did that, will it go back also to that, or is
The
it now?
the copy will stay. So let's go ahead and open. Well, let's do this. Command W. Come on, go away. Bridge. Let's go to open in raw like we had it. Command R. And let's do vibrance at 100, saturation at 100, open. I'm going to save this as a copy. So Command Shift S to save as a copy. And we'll call this one copy, because that's what we're doing, is a copy. Close it. And I should have 4X and 4X copy. So with the original, I will right click, go down to Develop Settings, Clear Settings. And now I have the original and the copy. So does that answer your question? Yes, good. And I don't like that one. I'll hit the delete key, hit OK, and it's gone. By the way, this is downtown Boise, and you can see the colors up here in late October. It's beautiful. So why would I want to leave here? You can also do a view and then go down to sort. I can sort by file name, by type. Well, let's hit type. So now I have JPEGs on top. And it goes down to PSD files underneath. And let's open this. And we'll save. So Command Shift S. Save as a JPEG 2000. Has anybody ever used JPEG 2000 before? I didn't think so.
No.
I have never have I used it. So we'll close that. And so now we'll go to the top. We have our JPEGs. We have a JPEG 2000, whatever that does. And our PSDs at the bottom. So you can do it that way. If you have stars assigned to these, like let's say, I really hate that one, so that's a Command 1, makes it a 1 star. Love the color on this. Command 5 and Command 4 on this. So what I'll do is go to View, Sort by Rating. And I have no stars at the top. Then it goes 1 star to 4 stars to 5 stars. So you can pick out how you want to do it. You can also change it from View, Sort, and instead of ascending order, we'll make it descending order. So my 5 stars on top, followed by 4, followed by 3. I'm sorry, followed by 1, followed by none. You can also change the color setting on the individual images. View. I gotta remember how to do that. I haven't done that for a while because I don't do that. Go down to label, and let's say we'll make this green. And then we'll make this one yellow. So we'll go down to label, yellow. So I have green and yellow there. Go to View, Sort, and by label. So yellow came first, then my green, and then no labels at all. Pretty simple, easy peasy to play with. Where am I going next? Name change. Change
So
the
on
name.
that picture of Boise, can you just zoom in? I'm just curious, can you zoom in on the Capitol? Is that in focus?
With
Just
Bridge,
curious.
well, this is a smaller image. Let's go to 52. So go back to the original files, go to 52, just typing in 52,
Mhm.
and it brings it up that image, brings it up in RAW. And it was kind of overcast that day, so we're not getting a whole lot of, do a little dehaze on it, bring it up, make it a little bit bigger. So in RAW, you can see shooting at ISO 1000, it's a little grainy. So if I open it,
Yeah,
and then let's go make it really big for you.
is that 200?
Are you talking about
Zoomed in?
zoomed
Are you
in?
zoomed in at 200?
I am at 136% right now. Let's go, there's 200. And I'm going to go to Filter, Topaz Labs, Topaz Denoise AI. Denoise and Sharpen are my 2 favorite filters that I'm using right now. I love them.
Yeah, but that's cheating.
No, it's making my image look better.
I wanted to know what your raw shot looked like, not after you
You saw my
do
raw
some
shot,
post on it.
and this will take about 3 minutes. It's going fairly quick, so it'll be about another minute or so. Yeah, my raw shot, you can see that has quite a bit of noise in there, but I shot at 1000 ISO. And even with my great Nikons, you're going to get some noise, same as with a Canon or Sony. Any of those have noise. And give it about 15 seconds more and it should be good. And you'll see the difference, which is amazing. I just can't say enough about Topaz Denoise and Sharpen. Those are the 2 that I definitely got to keep going. And come on. Any questions while we're waiting on this? No questions. Okay. You guys are easy today.
Well, it looks like you have denoise set up for low light.
That's
Because you
pretty
can
much
pick
my
different.
you can
Here's
pick,
what I found.
you can pick
Sorry,
up
Siri tried to answer.
Okay, this is after, before. So it sharpened it a little bit and took out some of the noise. And that's zoomed in at 300%. That's at 200. That's at 100. So before, after. So I can't say enough about denoise and sharpened. Close, don't save. So did that answer your question about size?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like before you do any post on it, it's not real crisp at 200.
Yeah, considering I was probably, okay, this is in Bridge zooming in. I don't know if it's 200 or I got my zoom stuff. Okay, this is 200. This is 400 zoomed in. That's at 100%. That's at full screen. I was probably, I guess I'm about 1.5 miles from the Capitol as I'm doing this. So not a bad shot. I mean, I can live with it.
Yeah,
In fact, let's look. I think it's with the 200 that I shot this with. Yeah, my 80 to 200 at 200 at f9. So, I mean, the sharpness is pretty decent. I can live with that. And then let's say I wanted to add this to a file that I call Capital, which is on my left-hand side. You can see my folder names, and this one's called Capital. So I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to copy, and I haven't set it up yet. So I'll go to choose folder 2021. These are older files. And we'll go to Capital. And I'm going to put it in the keeper folder. And just that quick, it's already done that for me. So we'll go to Capital, wait for it to load up everything, keepers. And under fall leaves, you have Capital. And you got to wait for it to, there we go. It's one of my favorite places to photograph in Idaho is the Capitol. It's just amazing what you can get there. If I wanted to move that file, let's go back up to the top, hit home. Instead of copying it to this folder, I want to move it to a folder. I'll just hit move to, and I'll put fall leaves keepers and send it back over there. And we'll go fall leaves keepers. So you can do all kinds of cool stuff with Bridge, just moving things around. With Lightroom, I tend to lose my images because I move them occasionally. And if I don't do it using the proper way in Lightroom, I lose my images. And that's one of the things I don't like about it. So. Okay, any questions on what we covered today?
Nope.
Nope. Going
Nope.
once, going twice. Okay, I'm going to hit the magical record button, maybe. Stop sharing, stop